Thokozani bogogo, thokozani bantu badala. Ugobe sivame insizwa kamkhwanazi nami nawo wonke amadlozi ami omnguni nihamba nawo. Nomzawu wami, nomsuthu wami. I welcome you to my channel and thank you very much for patronizing me. It truly, truly is amazing to have you here. Thank you for being my patron. And those who is their first time coming here, you are welcome. This is home. Find a seat and know that no one will move you from that seat. I welcome you all and I'm showing respect to Abokoko that you are working with and all your spirit guides. May you have a good relationship. Build that relationship. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on the next content that is coming up. So guys, so what is our topic? What are we talking about? I want to talk about the sangoma or Thwasana morning routine. So what you need to know as you prepare yourself is that there's a lot of sacrifice in terms of your time that you're going to have to do. You definitely are not going to sleep as much as you used to sleep before when you were home. You're definitely not going to be as comfortable in your bed as you were at home. You definitely are going to walk barefoot. Oh yes. And your social media time, the greatest advice I got was stay off social media, stay off phones, because those waste your time. And also what you need to understand is that when you are going through your process, you need to be completely in. You need to completely engage and shift your mindset and be in the zone and in the moment. Because if you don't do that, remember there's a lot of stimuli that surround us. Your TV, sounds around, gossip, news from home, so many things. So it is important that you minimize on those things. For me, I would stay for like 3 weeks without calling home. Yes, they would send me the mandatory morning SMS greeting me and giving me feedback on my son, how he woke up, and that he went to school. But I promise you, by the end of my time at the Pehlo, I already could recite my mother's morning SMS. It was greetings, the joyous souls, the princes woke up well, they are happy and joyful, and they've gone to school safely. May you have a pleasant day. That was her daily message, which I appreciated. So I always got those, and I'm the kind of person who was lucky enough to have a mentor before I finally went to the second Petro I went to. Because the first Petro I went to, it was with my dad, who is a sangoma, has been a sangoma for over 20 years. We haven't had the best of relationships, but we had, you know, a relationship via SMS, you know, and then WhatsApp. But I was lucky enough to start off at his place, you know, my journey. And there I learned valuable lessons in terms of being ushered into the spiritual space in kind of not a familiar place, but a nurturing place, because the energy was quite nurturing, the environment itself, like it felt like you're in a retreat space. And it's a farm, so it's isolated from the village, so it's quite, you know, quiet and serene. And as well, I learned something important about understanding your connection to the universe and understanding your role in waking up to the universe and for the universe, which is you. You are the universe. And when you understand connecting to the universe, then you get your power, you reclaim your power, and you rise into your fullness, into your full power, and understand who you are. So I got to learn about the importance of awakening and connecting to nature, which is the universe, every aspect of it, including not fearing snakes. I do fear snakes, I still do. But I don't fear them as much as I used to. Well, one of the things that you're going to learn when you have a calling is that amadlozi sometimes they show themselves as snakes. So for me, I was haunted by this big black python, pitch black. It haunted me, it was in my dreams. I would like feel it, that it's the spot where I used to go and bath. I would feel it sitting there like this huge thing, like huge. I'm sitting and it would be as huge as me sitting. And I'm 178 meters tall. So when I'm sitting down, I'm definitely not a shorty. So I had to now understand, the showing up of the universe, and also how the universe communicates with you through signs and visions as well. And those are some of the lessons that I learned, with my dad. And they came in like so well later on. I tapped into many of those. And some of the values that I learned were the values of being ithwasana, the code of conduct, the types of foods that you have to eat, and the types of activities that you have to do, which were sangoma activities, And for me, when I was there, I did not clean their house. I did not do any house chores. I only was in Dumbeni and Ganzamuti, sunrise till sunset, Ugite, and all those things, and your dream interpretations. And so I learned a lot of valuable lessons. And also, I learned then the power of not disconnecting, but disengaging, in terms of I had to let go of, or as it was, and you have to let go of the need to constantly be affirmed by conversations with other people. Always wanting to feel that people acknowledge you through conversations, sometimes conversations that lead nowhere, that mean nothing. Like, for instance, for me, I used to have like this group. It was a broadcast I would do every day to 240 people. Believe you me, I think it's only 3 who in the year that I was gone noticed that I was gone. The rest, they just kept quiet, And those were people that you used to interact with, And so, as I said, that I'm going to be talking about the Thwasa routine. So you're going to forfeit a lot of things that make you feel comfortable, that you think are necessary, whereas you will eventually discover that they're not really necessary. Things that you thought matter, things that you thought made you to be you. I was that kind of a person who, Andrea Dondolo is Andrea Dondolo. That was me. I understood myself as a brand. I knew myself as a brand. And so now, being in this space, being a Thwasana, you become a child. There is no titles. You are just a Thwasana and Ego Journal, and which means the container of Idlozi, your spirit guide, because obviously they use you. You become the vessel of communication for them to the world. So, and also understanding that you have to be aware. There's a sense of self-awareness that you need to cultivate within yourself, for yourself, and for other people, including not laughing out too loud, and when you talk, not standing, there's so many things. But the routine, going back to the routine is so critical, because the same way that nature wakes up, you embody nature now in its fullness, not in separate pockets, but in its fullness. As a result, every aspect of your being has to be awakened in order for the connection between you and your Dlozi, your spirit guide, to strengthen, you know. And some of the process you're gonna have to make the fire. So for me, I've always been that person who likes to understand, why am I doing something? And I was fortunate enough to be taught, uh, at the first petal by my father, that that as nature, you have to communicate to yourself and the universe at large for answers. No one is going to give you the answers that will satisfy you. No one is going to give you the answers that are going to be logical enough for you, because he used to say there's no logic at Lozeni, because for instance, if you were to ask me a question, I would start using logic and putting pieces together. But with Idlozi, it's different. You just open your mouth and say what comes out, because that is Idlozi talking. So the battle between you, your ego, and wanting to sound smart, and actually allowing this, automatic vehicle to work on its own, becomes something that is critical. So you need to stay within, and go deeper. He used to say, go deeper within and connect. And I never understood, So a lot of silent moments, a lot of moments when you are making the fire, they are critical because they are meditative. So I asked Aboko Kuti, why do I have to make a fire? Why do I have to go and do this and that in this way? And I would get the answer. A dream or a vision will come and explain to me. I remember with one of the greatest things that most Thwasanas fear or hate or loathe with all their hearts, ukuganza umuti, grinding the herbs. Yo, that is a cumbersome job, And sometimes you will do it from morning till evening, because you have to complete that, that you have been given, your quota for the day of umuti that you needed to do. So there was that at a trainee. And in between, there's other things that you are doing, So the ushering in helped me to understand, when now I was asking Amados, why do I need to grind umuti? And I remember I had this dream, where in this dream, I was busy pounding umuti. And, the iron rod, whenever it lifted, the more I did, every time it lifted, I would see roots growing under it, at the base of it, and every time. And then I got to understand, made me understand that when umuti has been cut down, harvested and brought to the space, there is a process where it goes into a rest state. It does not die, but it goes into a rest state. And so you are the creator. You need to create it back to its fullness, to its life. You need to bring it back from the sleep that it took, right? And in doing that, when you are pounding umuti, you are evoking its power within you and your power within it. So there is a connection process that happens. Also, I was made to understand that as you're working with umuti, remember, there will be the dust that's coming up. The muti is getting into you and it's healing you. So every muti that you have worked with has gotten into your body and starts healing you. That's why you will react differently to certain mutis. Some will trigger something while you are pounding. Some will trigger idlozi. A whole lot of things. Some will trigger some symptoms of a sickness that you have. And you don't understand. But I understood when Idlozi explained to me. that you awaken, you evoke the power and the potency of the muti when you gander it. And you also then own the process, because your words upon that muti, they bring it to life. You become the creator. And I promise you, I started enjoying the process. I would look forward to, I still do, look forward to pounding umuti, because now I understood that in order for this muti, this herb, you know, to work, I have to speak to it. I have to bring it back to life. I have to evoke it. It must feel my energy. I must connect with it so that it can then give me its power, so that it can listen to me when I create. That is why some herbs or some muti, idlozi sometimes will give you a herb that you only knew to be working for this. And for you, it will work for something else, because idlozi has the ability to do that. That's why there are people who you will find, I used to complain about those people who, there'd be a line of people and all they do is everybody's given the same herbs, the same medicine. And you ask yourself, but how? Because the adlozi specializes, You have different amadlozi and each one works differently, There's the one that's, spread across. But there will be that one who is a specialist on something specific.